Alrighty, this video is kind of more for the new folks. I'm sitting in the 93 Chevy toolbox truck. Okay. We're going to do a quick talk down about pricing and math and everything else. Here are two hot dogs. Okay. Two hot dogs, good size hot dogs. When I got into this mess 11 years ago, it's been almost 11 years now, or a little over 11 years. I bought out a guy who was pumping at 185, and I looked at the numbers and I immediately said, no, this has got to go to $200 a tank today. And then it's got to come up every year since then. And when I first got into it, two hot dogs, $2, $200 pump a tank. And this is where the whole hot dog math thing came from. Because a couple of years later, I had somebody standing in line at this very holiday station, and I'm sitting here making this video, and people are looking at me like I'm crazy. Lady came in and asked how much I pumped, and I said, it's 225 at that time. And she was like, oh my God, you could just see her face that she just lost it. And what it was, there's a guy at a little bit west of me, who was pumping tanks at $80 a tank. And he still is. And what he's doing is he's got all these little towns locked up where he says, I will be in this town this week, and every tank that's ready to pump, I will pump for $80 a tank. And then he's land applying on fields that are owned by the city, but not necessarily surveyed and everything correctly, but nobody's really giving him a hard time about his land application. And he's kind of a little, he's not doing exactly perfect. So he'll come in, he'll pump 10 tanks in the morning or 8 tanks in the morning, whatever it is, and he'll go dump his truck, do this back and forth. And to him, the truck just grossed $1,000 a day. That's good money. The truck made $1,000 today. And that's the mentality we have in a lot of people in this industry. And yes, there's been a few guys who have been joking and why the internet needs a sarcasm font, who have been saying, oh, I pumped this tank for 125. Oh, I'll pump that tank for 95. When you see those types of posts, especially, you'll start noticing the players. You'll notice that, yes, these guys are fooling you. They're really not pumping at that price. But that's just throwing it out there because they're getting sick of hearing the lowballers. I mean, we've all heard this, where we'll give our price of $260 a tank, and they'll be like, well, Freddie pumped it for $75 last time. Freddie's been dead over 25 years. I still get it, by the way. I still have people say Freddie pumped it for 75. Freddie's been dead 25 years now. Well, maybe not that long. Freddie might be, actually he probably is. Probably close to 25 years, yes. But neither here nor there. I will find my listing of my basic numbers, which really do need a revamp. They're probably off by about $5 to $10. I need going upwards, not downwards, where I kind of explain 20 miles, 20 minutes on site, 1,000-gallon tank, exposed, ready to pump. 175 plus disposal is where you start seeing profit. Not paying bills, not bought yourself. I mean, seriously, seeing profit. If you think you need to go up because you're not able to afford the things you think you should have, you need to go up in price. $5 here, $10 there. Do it over a 4 or 5 year, but have a plan in place to actually where you're going to start climbing. You're going to have somebody coming in saying, well, I'll pump that tank for $150. I have a guy right now, he's been coming in this way, and he wants to pump at $150. He wants to do it on his schedule, his time. My customers are fairly loyal. I'm pumping $260. Don't care. When I got into this and bumped it to $200, there was a guy south of me who was doing $150. That's 1990 prices. I'm not doing $150 when I have $100 and some dollar disposal at one plant, $79 $1,000 disposal at another. So at $260 with $80 disposal, I'm at $160. I'm not even at the $175 starting to see profit. I'm at I'm over the $150, bought myself a job point. I need to come up more. But as has been stated before, I have guys that are behind on this who are like, years ago they pumped at this price, not that price. And it's like, all right, so you're kind of stuck coming up a little at a time because if you double overnight, your people are going to balk. But we're back to the analogy of boiling a frog. If you start with cold water and slowly bring up the temperature, they won't say anything. Somebody made a comment, I just saw this, and I really like this comment, where if 25% of your customers are bitching, but 75 are not about your price, you're probably where you need to be. And I like that. That's a good analogy.